Hello and welcome to the Fuck It Up Comedy Club podcast. I'm Kima Bob, I'm your host, and I'm so honored that you have decided to join me for week 11. That's right, we are 11 weeks old, and all I have to say to that is which is my best impression of what an 11-year-old would sound like saying thank you for joining me. You're tuned in to an unapologetic celebration of comedians of color who are not cis men. Now, this is an opportunity to hear stand-up from awesome comics and get to know them a little better. And today, do I have a treat for you. We have Leila Navabi, Priya, and Krishna Istha joining me, and I had loads of fun with them. I'm sure you did too. We got into some real deep stuff, like the breeding of dogs. So if you're a pro-dog breed, then sound off online, because I'm ready to go to war, because yeah, I said it, I think dogs should fuck freely. But before we get into that, let's hear some incredible stand-up from our incredible guest. And before we get into that, let's hear me rambling about how I don't know if festivals are okay. Thank you for that warm welcome, or should I say hot as fuck? God, so hot. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being beautiful. It's always weird, like, introducing yourself like that and then coming on stage and be like, who said that? You're a wonderful host for the evening. Thank you. Hey, it's so good to see you guys. God, honestly, I always get taken aback by this audience just because it's always so gorgeous. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but if you went around performing in the deepest, darkest corners of this nation, just have no idea what I have to look at sometimes. I'm just so delighted. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for being here. This is the Femmes of Color Comedy Club. If you don't know, it's simple, it's beautiful, it's elegant. What it is an unapologetic celebration of comedians of color who are not cis men. So, thank you. Thank you for your woos. You're right. All of the wooers, you're right. I'm Kima Bob. I am the host of this thing, and I'm glad to be here with you. Thank you for your woo. You're right. Yeah, sick. Oh, recently I've been going to, like, festivals. Have you heard of them? Do you know the phenomenon? I'm not sure. I keep trying to decide at every festival if I'm a festival person. Like, I'm just like, is this for me? I don't know. It just, like, a part of me, I don't know if it's, like, ancestral, just doesn't like being in a field. Why am I here? Feels wrong. Do we have any festival people out here tonight? A few festival people. Good, I support you. I kind of want to be you. I'm not sure how to get there. Any people that are kind of like, no on the festivals? Any non-festival people? Okay, so you're shy. Quietly a non-festival person. Shame. It was shame that I felt. I don't want you to feel that shame. Look, this is a space where festival people and non-festival people can come together. It's just weird. I don't know how to describe it. Between, like, the filthy dust and just, like, the tents full of nonsense. I just don't know. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's quite rare. I'm not going to name any of the festivals that I've gone to yet, because I'd like to be hired again. But it's very rare that you, like, go to a festival and you're just kind of like, damn, look at all the shit on this schedule. I'm interested. It's like, what the fuck is this? Honestly, at one point, I heard something coming from a tent and I was like, I'm not sure if that's music or noise. Like, it's just like, what is going on in these streets? And I tried to go to a talk, because I'm into, like, wellness and things like that. I tried to go to a talk about, like, intimacy, and it was this weird old white dude being like, guys, I like to tell all of my disciples to do the following exercise. And I was like, you'll do what now? I am not in your cult, sir. Whatever you were trying to start today was so weird. And he was like, we're going to do an exercise, and if you don't want to participate, maybe just take off your clothes and be scenery for me. He said this with his mouth, aloud. It was insane. I don't know what these things are about. All in the showering. I have a semi-shameful like admission. This is my confession. No chick on the side. I like spent the night at a festival recently, which is very rare for me. I am not a camper. I'm not a camping ass bitch. Any non-campers in the house tonight? Just why would you do it? And like to campers that have that fortitude to say, yeah, this ground is hard. These temperatures are uncontrolled. I can do it. You go. I support you. I salute you. You are brave. You are strong. But also, you're a little silly. I tried. So I was like, do you know what? All these other festivals, you've been like, oh, I'm going to be in like a hotel or something. I was like, camp at this one. Just do it. You could do it. I was in like a bell tent and stuff. And I was like, okay, like this is still outside. But, you know, at least you're in a glamorous version of outside. It's still outside. And I laid down. I laid down to go to bed at night. I put some music in my ears because there was a baby camping next to us, and it was not having the nighttime. That wouldn't have happened to me in a hotel. And I was laying there, and at one point, the temperature just dropped so suddenly that I was concerned as to how I would keep my hands warm. And I thought to myself, I don't think you're a camping-ass bitch. I don't think this is for you. I don't think this is who you are. And the next day, I woke up, and the task was to go into that mysterious shower cubicle thing that so many other people have been in. Oh, and I'm weird about bathrooms. I'll admit it to you right here, right now. When I go into a bathroom, my vision doubles in excellence. Do you hear me? I can see everything. I'm just kind of like, hair, speck of dust, what's that? Like, oh my God, nothing grosses me out more than hair that's not mine. I'm just like, what? Who did that fall off of? Did they take care of them? We don't know that person. Honestly, and I feel like, can you guys, I don't know if this is relatable, but I feel like when you're like wet and naked, that's when you're most vulnerable in life. Like I'm just in here in this cubicle, moist, and anything could happen. And so I had to stare down the shower cubicle, and I was like, am I going to get in it? And the answer was no. I fully baby wiped myself down. And I was like, this is a new day. And am I proud of myself? No. But I'm pretty sure I'm just not a festival-ass bitch. And there's so many things that I saw that I just kind of had to, excuse, like just random like headdresses. And you go, y'all, it's 2022. Have you not seen the articles? Or is your wearing of a headdress in defiance of the articles? It's insane. Or just white people with dreadlocks, and you just go, I just stop myself and say, no, Kima, that's not what you're here for. You're here for work. It's so frustrating. I kid you not, there was a panel on in a tent, and I literally heard, like, they were talking about all sorts of political issues, right? And they're a very diverse panel of speakers. And the very diverse audience. I think it was like, the festival was some people call it the bougie festival. You might know what I'm talking about? Like, where you'll be looking around and someone will be covered in mud, and then it'll just be like, oh no, my Gucci bag is covered in mud. And so, who has that? Who has that? And who brings that out here? How rich do you have to be to cover a Gucci bag in mud? I can't even cover a Gucci bag in me. It's ridiculous. So anyway, we're at this like bougie white house festival, and there's this panel going on, and someone literally stands up with their full adult body and says with their human mouth, I have a question. White privilege, do we believe in it? Do we believe in it? Bitch, is it fairies? Is it the Loch Ness Monster? Do we believe in it? My God. It was insane. And it was like, what a white privilege-ass question. Do we believe in it? Guys, are we going to opt out? Are we going to text stop to opt out of white privilege? I don't know. I'm not really... I hear things about it. Some people call those facts, and I go, do I believe in it? Oh, gosh. It's wild. Well, welcome to a space where, we do believe in it. That's not a question. Are you ready for some comedy? Great! Okay, the first comic that we have has traveled all the way from Wales. Ooh, yes! Channel that energy. As we welcome to the stage the incredible Leila Navabi!
Kima Bob, everyone! Woo! Amazing. Good. Hello, nice to meet you. You are all so fit. Hi, I'm Leila. My pronouns are she or they. I look like this. And for the benefit of the audio format, these are red Crocs. That is to say, cool. My dad is a Middle Eastern Muslim man. Thank you, Dad. And my mum is a Welsh White Catholic woman. That was the cheer of Jesus Christ himself. Yay. And yeah, if you know anything about those two faiths, I suppose textually and historically, culturally, you'll understand how beautiful I actually think it is that they were able to, put their differences aside actually and come together in creating the world's most prolific lesbian. My parents aren't homophobic anymore. It was a phase. Some people are gay. Get over it. It's our slogan. Okay, I think it's a weird slogan we've chosen as quite a cheery people. Like things you can get over include like a breakup or COVID or verrucas. Like I don't love gay being in that category. I saw a very famous gay celebrity the other day. It wasn't real life, it's like Getty Images. I don't know if you've heard it. It said, the world has bigger problems than boys who kiss boys and girls who kiss girls. Doesn't that imply it's still a problem? Albeit a small one. Like eczema. Like, gay, innit? It's a bit like eczema. It's a bit annoying. It's just like, there's worse things in the world. There's like cancer, but like, there's also gay. Do you know what I mean? Like, so the worst one's the all-encompassing one. Why be homophobic, sexist, racist, when you could just be quiet? I think that, because that's how bad things happen. Are you a bigot? Don't talk to anyone about it. It's all, keep it a secret. Do you know what? If you're lonely, just find your people on Reddit. Just sit there with your bigot and seethe, actually. That is healthy. I think it's a weird thing we've chosen to do there. I recently fell in love with my best friend. Split room there. It was reciprocal. It was reciprocal. Can confirm. These Crocs aren't for everybody, but they are for somebody. Okay. We felt she's a comedian, and you all know who fucks, aren't you? You're like, oh, who's a queer comedian? It's Ellen DeGeneres. She quit her show to move to South Wales with me. No. No, I'm brown and she's also brown as well. This is my first brown on brown relationship. It's really great. I'd say, 10 out of 10. Brown out of brown. I really like it. And I think, if you know anything about, TV comedy panel shows, it's a weird one, right? Like, you never see two, like, brown comedians on a panel show together, or, like, black comedians, or just people of colour. There's never more than one on a show, right? And, like, historically, we've thought that's because cultural gatekeepers think we only have one story to tell, right? And we're the brown person, we have to tell that story, and then we're all boring, we're all the brown comedian, we talk about brown things. But actually, it's because, like, they're scared. If they put us in a room together, we fuck. I thought I'd always have to be in a relationship with like someone who wasn't like the same sort of, I suppose, ethnicity as me. We're not even the same ethnicity, we're just both brown, which to white people is the same. And I think, you know, I thought I could never do that, and I think it's because of adverts. Have you heard of them? Adverts. You get them in between programs. And in adverts, you only ever get, if it's a brown person in an advert, they're always in a relationship with a beautiful white person with a beautiful mixed-race baby, which makes me so angry at my parents. Because I would have looked so good on a DFS sofa at 7 years old. And I'd be rich! I'd be so rich. It would be wonderful. It feels... I think I was scared people would think we were sisters, right? Like, and we don't look alike. Like, I say if, like, I'm a Baby Bell, she's like a cheese string. So, I mean, you'll see. I think it's a weird... Yeah, we don't look like sisters, and so I just was really scared of that for a long time. And are there any straight white couples in? Doubtful. They're at home tweeting about how they're good people. Anyone? No. Good. So I always ask if they're siblings, and they always are. Always. Yeah, I was really scared. We went on a date recently, me and my girlfriend. We went to the dentist. I think it's a tricky one, right? So we were sat there, and the dentist called out her name. The dental nurse called out her name, and the dental nurse went, "Do you speak English?" To her, which is like mad. It's like 1970s, right? That's like vintage. It's like Depop racism, right? And we were both like, what the fuck? So the nurse looked at me and was like, "Does she speak English?" And I was like, "Oh my god, yeah, we do." And also, why? Like, what? And she went, "Sorry, I thought you were her interpreter." Mad, right? And I said, "Have you seen that? Because we're both brown." And she went, "No, we get Polish in too." Cool. Genuinely. Terrible, right? But I had a takeaway from that, which is like, first of all, this woman was such a fucking idiot, clearly, right? Like, she thought my girlfriend, a comedian, could afford an interpreter. Mad, right? And second of all, like, I was actually all right with it, because I was kind of grateful for her that she assumed, you know, that my girlfriend had like gainfully employed me to assist her with the English language, and I'd rather them think that, people to think that, than for them to think we are sisters who fuck. Girl, you're gonna have a wonderful night. Take care. Goodbye.
Another round of applause for Leila Navabi! We have more comedy, and it's gonna come at you fast. It's gonna come at you now. Are you ready for her? Good! Please welcome to the stage the incredible Priya Hall!
I don't have loads of time, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some options. Option number 1, I can tell you some jokes about my cat. Option number 2, I can tell you the story about how at the end of 2021 I burned my whole life to the ground and I've been living in a state of perpetual chaos ever since. We're a bunch of gossipy fucks! Let's get into it. It's quite a long story, so I'll give you the cliff notes up top. At the end of 2021, I quit my job. Broke up with my boyfriend of 6 years. Started dating a little tiny 5'1.5" lesbian. Some of you may have met her. And number 4, I accidentally got cast in a musical. And of those 4 things, the musical was the most traumatic one. Like I said, it's quite a long story, so I'll really power through it. Number 1, I quit my job. You might be thinking to yourselves, Priya, isn't this your job? This is not a job. This is a sickness. It's not a job. Do you want to know what I did before I did this? I worked in... I love your energy. Don't think I didn't notice that you cheered so much when I said about the breakup. Oh, I love your energy. We're working with the same levels, yeah. Before I started doing stand-up for a living, I worked in the NHS for the team that deals with infectious diseases. What a stroke of bad luck. I worked in NHS Wales. I loved my job when I first started it. All it was, all day long, was measles and syphilis. All day long. Measles and syphilis. Occasionally a sprinkling of tuberculosis. It was lovely. It was like living in a Charles Dickens novel. I loved it. And then you might be thinking to yourselves, measles and syphilis, aren't they extinct? Not in Wales. We're traditional. I loved my job. And then something happened in 2020 that made it a bit spicy. And I stuck it out for a year. I really tried. I stuck it out for a year. And at the end of 2021, I was like, fuck this. This has been awful. I'm leaving. So I quit my job. I quit arguably the most stable job in the world right now to do this. And I said to all of my friends, I was like, could I be having a breakdown? And they were like, no, don't worry. All it is you're part of the Great Resignation. Give me a cheer if you know what the Great Resignation is. Right. So it's the name that people are giving to like the mass exodus of people from the workplace following the pandemic. I think it's a very millennial thing to do to rebrand like a mass epidemic of mental illness as like a movement. But I do like it. I like being part of this movement. It means that in like 50 years' time, when my grandkids are like, Grandma, what did you do during the pandemic? I can be like, I gave up. In every conceivable way. I like it. I quit my job, and I think things might be about to get a bit spicy, but everyone's like, don't worry about it. So I moved swiftly on to the next part of the story. I broke up with my boyfriend of 6 years. Now, I understand that this is quite a tense part of the story. What I used to do is I used to ask audience members, as like a crowd work bit, if anyone had had a breakup recently. But it kept getting too sad. So I don't do that anymore. Don't worry, everything is fine. We're both fine. We're both better off for it. Don't regret the breakup at all. Do I regret how I broke up with my boyfriend of 6 years? A little bit. An hour before I broke up with my boyfriend of 6 years, I went to the hairdressers and got myself a chic bob. Thank you for noticing. I went and got a haircut an hour before breaking up with someone. That is an act of war. I was too fit for the breakup, is what I'm saying. It was a hostile act, but don't worry, I know karma is real because I went into the hairdressers recently for a trim. Again, thank you for noticing. And it all went fine. She cut my hair, it was all fine, and she looked at the back of my head, and without saying a single fucking thing, she went into her drawer and took out an electric shaver and just started shaving my neck. Not my hairline, my whole neck. For what felt like about 20 minutes. You don't realise how long your neck is until someone's shaving it without your consent. What I'm saying is karma is real. Her name is Jasmine and she's a hairdresser in Cardiff. Takes me on to the next bit of the story. I started seeing a tiny little lesbian. Again, some of you might have met her. Hello, I'm the cheese string. I started seeing a tiny little lesbian. When I say seeing, I mean dating, not like hallucinating. She is real. She is real. She's not a ghost. But if I did have to describe her as a ghost, I'd describe her as a reverse poltergeist. Because everywhere I go in my flat, she's doing DIY. It's wonderful. She fixed my shower head, and that's not a euphemism. It's great. I'm having a great time. But I'm 29 and I've known for a really long time that I'm bisexual, but I'm also very lazy, so I forgot to tell anyone. So what I found myself having to do is like drive-by coming outs. It's bad. I had to come out to my 87-year-old grandmother from the valleys. If you don't know the valleys in Wales, good for you. Was that a cheer from someone from the valleys? Cumbran. That's close enough. I'm going over here. If you report back to the valleys, I swear to God, I'll burn your house down. I had to tell my 87-year-old grandmother, my 87-year-old Catholic grandmother, that I was in a relationship with a woman. And she's cool, my grandmother. She's cool. She's got like a criminal record and a new hip. She's cool. She's cool. But it's still a lot for her to take on. So I was like, oh, I don't know how this is going to go. But I told her, and it went fine, except for she told me that she was worried that now that I wasn't with a man, there would be no one to look after me. Exactly. Now, contrary to what this looks like, I can look after myself. But also, if I were looking for someone to look after me, why would it ever be a man? If you're looking for a provider, there's no one better than a lesbian with toxic masculinity. My nan's gotten over that, though, because we were over hers recently, and she mentioned in passing that she needed to mow her lawn, and she was like, I'm going to ask your brother to do it. And I was like, yeah, fine, ask my brother to do it. I don't want to do it. And my girlfriend just piped up, and she was like, oh, I can do that. And my nan looked at her as though she had 3 heads. She was like, what? And my girlfriend was like, oh, I can do it. And she went and mowed my nan's lawn, which meant I had the privilege of watching my 87-year-old grandmother watch a tiny little lesbian mow her lawn. It was the best thing I've ever seen. It was like, you know those videos where orangutans see close-up magic for the first time? It was amazing. She's like, oh, I didn't know they could do that. Long story short, she's looking for one of her own. If anyone's on the lookout. I'm half Indian as well, and that freaks a lot of people out when they find out I'm with a woman. They'll often be like, well, what do your Indian family think of you being gay? And I'm like, well, the answer is they're fine with it because they don't know. And they can't reject you if you never give them the chance. But Priya, you're literally talking about it on stage, on a podcast that's freely available to anyone in the general public. I said I was closeted, I didn't say I was good at it. I did a bit of stand-up for telly recently. Ooh, fancy. Don't worry, it was Welsh language telly. It was for the Welsh language channel S4C, and when people heard I was doing it, it was like a queer night. When people heard I was doing it, they were like, well, aren't you worried? That's like national television. Aren't you worried your grandparents will see it? And I was like, it's fucking Welsh television. They would have to learn Welsh. S4C is basically my secret diary at this point. I'm not worried. Yeah, that takes me on to the last bit of the story. This is arguably the worst bit of the story. I accidentally got cast in a musical. Now, it's worth noting that this story begins and ends with my own incompetence. What happened was I received an email. That email offered me 5 days of work. I, as I said, had recently quit my job. I needed the money for rent, so I said yes. Did I read the email? Did I fuck? I didn't read the email. We get to a week before I'm meant to be going to do this work. My tiny little lesbian says to me, she says, hey, what are you actually doing next week? And I went, what a great question. Thank you for always looking out for me. And I read the email and saw that I had been cast in a lead part in a Welsh language musical. Now, for reference, I can't sing. I can't dance. I'll be honest with you, I can barely speak Welsh. I start freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I've already budgeted it in. I need to do this work, but I cannot sing and I can't dance. So I rang my agent up and I was like, look, I need this work, but I can't do it. I can't sing and I can't dance. She was like, well, Priya, that does seem quite unreasonable. But I'll see what I can do. And then she gives me a ring 2 hours later and she says, I have no idea how this has happened, but they still want you in the musical. And you don't have to sing or dance. What had happened, right? You might be wondering, what had happened is this was a Welsh language musical and I am brown, which means that any time a Welsh language production needs any diversity, baby girl gets a call. And I say yes every time. Should I? No. But I'll keep doing it. I showed up day one of the musical. It was tense. The writer was there. She looked me dead in the eyes and she goes, hi, Priya. It was a fun challenge. writing a part in a musical that didn't have any singing or dancing. And I was like, well, that's just the situation we found ourselves in. We get to the end of day one. It's all gone fine. The director says to everyone, okay, tomorrow, just remember to wear suitable clothing because we'll be working on physicality. Now, I didn't know what that meant. I didn't want to know what it meant. So I pretended I had COVID and I never went back. I beat the system. You've all been lovely. I've been Priya. Good night.
So good. Keep it going for Priya. Love it. Okay, guys. The next performer is a performance artist turned stand-up comedian. Oh, watch out now. Some of y'all might want to take your brows and move them up a little bit. Please welcome to the stage with all of your energy, the Krishna Istha!
Hello. Hi. I'm actually a bit nervous. I haven't really performed since the pandemic, so if I fuck this up and you don't find me funny enough to laugh, that's cool, don't worry about it. My personal kink is humiliation, so this is a win-win situation for me. So I was on a date the other day with a girl. Usually people don't react that way. They usually go, oh, because everyone thinks I'm gay. To be clear, I'm not gay. I'm bisexual, lucky me. And I was on a date with a girl, and turns out she used to be a lesbian, which is great because so did I. I don't think I really need to explain that joke here, but if I do, I'm trans. When I say trans, I mean transgender, not transport, obviously. Some folks might say I was a man trapped inside a woman's body. I don't really identify with that. It's a bit old school. Although, if you think about it, we were all once trapped inside a woman's body. Well, actually, not all people who give birth are women. That was a test and you all failed. I'm so disappointed. Someone once told me when I first started stand-up that it was very important to define myself clearly straight away so that the audience is open to listening to me. Apparently all this can be distracting from the comedy. But defining yourself is pretty hard when you're an Indian, American, kind of Australian person in Britain who's a trans-masculine, non-binary, bisexual, polyamorous, dyslexic performance artist. And there's nothing more confusing than performance art. And because I am a performance artist, I came at stand-up from a very theoretical place. I did a lot of research. And I realized that stand-up is often very pared back. Just a person with a mic, set list, bottle of water, whereas performance art can be anything at all. The intention with comedy is for the audience to laugh. The intention with performance art is for the audience to never laugh ever again. Stand-up is a bit like polyamory, right? There are rules, everyone knows what's going on. Performance art is a bit more like monogamy. It's well respected. It can be satisfying. But you spend the entire time thinking, when is this going to end? Why is this performance artist doing stand-up comedy? Thanks for asking, sir, madam. I don't know if I mentioned, but I'm trans. And I take something called testosterone. And some of the side effects of it include rapid hair growth, looking 15 forever, and the sudden urge to try stand-up comedy. Did you know the confidence you get when you walk through the world as a man is directly proportionate to the confidence you need to try stand-up comedy? Which is probably why so many mediocre white men think they can do it. It's not their fault, it's just science. I'm also doing comedy because I want to cheer up. My people, let's be honest, we don't really have a reputation for being a barrel of laughs. We're known to be quite earnest, which actually I have a bit of a problem with because earnest is a very gendered name. Really sick of people thinking I'm serious just because I'm trans. I'm also sick of explaining things to people all the time, like the difference between gender and sex, and how trans people are people, and how we deserve rights. Other trans things I do want to explain include what my genitals look like and how they work, and if I've had the surgery, which surgery, when surgery, why surgery, how surgery. I don't want to have to explain how hormone replacement therapy works and pretend like it's all cool and natural, because sometimes it won't be, but I can't say that because cis people start questioning our trans cis. We'll say hormone replacement therapy is terrible for us. Like, why don't they invest their time and effort they put into finding out what's in my pants into better trans healthcare instead? I mean, doctors are so unreliable. I once had to get my testosterone shot from a dominatrix. Yeah. Turns out the bedside manner of a dominatrix is not what you're after, FYI. Who am I kidding? Doctors could learn a lot about consent from sex workers. The bedside manner of a dominatrix is 1,000 times better than the bedside manner of a doctor. Other trans things I do want to explain is what being queer really means. I mean, let's be honest. Everyone's a bit bi these days. It's true. Harry Styles. Turns out, even he couldn't stick to One Direction. Dad jokes. Other trans things I don't want to explain is how trans people can also have relationships and babies and families, and how we're also smart or clever or creative, or how we use the toilet. Flipping God, I don't have to talk about yet another gender-neutral toilet. Like, what is it with every cis person I know asking me for advice on how to make their home toilets gender-neutral? Allies, stop trying so hard. The guiltier an ally, the more annoying you are. Other trans things I don't want to explain is well, being non-binary is and how we're neither man or woman or both over and over again. As cis people clever, they would just get it from the term non-binary. It literally just means not binary, and you must know what binary means. Another thing I don't want to explain, but I find myself having to explain, is all of this shit that doesn't require explanation, but is always expected of trans people to explain, like I'm literally explaining right now. I'm literally explaining how much I don't want to explain, all the things I'm being forced to explain, but definitely 100% do not want to explain. What's the deal with that? Oh, I've got to wrap it up. I've got time for one more joke. And this is probably the best joke I've ever written. Ever. It's also my favorite joke. Tell me, what do you call a non-binary person with a piss fetish? Anyone? Anyone? A gender-neutral toilet? Yeah, great. Thank you.
Krishna! Hey, it's me, Kima B, letting you know that if you like listening to us fuck it up in your house, if you like listening to us fuck it up in your car or on your train, you will absolutely love being in the room where it happens. We usually record our episodes in London in front of a live audience, and let me tell you, it's one of the most beautiful audiences I've ever seen, and I would love for you to join us. For more info, check out Fuck It Up Comedy on Insta or Twitter, or go to fuckitupcomedy.com. Welcome back, all of the performers you've seen, Priya Hall, Krishna, Istha, and Leila, Navabi! Come on back, 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 come on back. Welcome to the stage. Yes. Thank you guys so much for coming. That was incredible. I loved your sets. Oh my God. Well, you guys are killing it. I can't cope.
I can't cope.
No, it's a compliment.
Like the reveal.
Yeah, the
You
girlfriend
told me
reveal.
just before, and I was like, do you tell
We keep
them?
it like we're not going to talk about it on stage, but we can't help
Yeah, we're
it.
like, we cannot, we're not going to
Great.
monetize and capitalize on our relationship. And then we're like, actually, though, it's really
should.
funny.
Good time. I love a bit of a girlfriend reveal. We haven't had other girlfriends on. I know. I keep trying
All
to
that
fuck
you know of,
everyone.
Kima.
That's true. Secret girlfriends. It happens.
We are sneaky as a people.
Honestly. Oh.
Lesbian.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, thanks for being here. I want to talk a bit about fun and joy, if that's okay.
Fucking
Is that
hate them
permitted?
both. No.
So, do you hate fun? Are you
No,
anti-fun?
I'm absolutely pro fun.
You pro fun?
Yeah.
Because you're wearing a skeleton top.
Yeah, no, this is, I like to say I like this because it reminds me that underneath our skin we are all white. It just makes me feel really good about myself.
Yeah.
Gives me the confidence to leave my home.
I mean, pink and red first, but then if you do get deeper, but then do you know what? Underneath that white, there's a lot of brown.
Oh,
Yeah.
so inside we're all brown.
And at the deepest...
That's going to make some racists really...
And that, when you really get a drill out and get into it, it's fun.
I'd love to drill a hole in a racist, me.
We'll find out, reveal to them. Guys, but before we get into fun and joy, I want to ask you, what's something that you're horny for right now? And this is a question that tends to not make sense, but I refuse to not ask. And let me tell you, you don't have to be horny for anything like in a sexual way. It's just like, what do you really want? Like, I'm kind of horny to watch more episodes of The Sandman. Have you guys started The Sandman? Oh my God, has anyone read The Sandman? Good, lots of non-readers. Come on, yeah. So, when they make a TV show, about a book or something, you know that it's gonna be probably okay.
It's going to be worse than the book.
Do you know it? Well,
Yeah.
you know it's gonna be. It probably will be worse than the book, but it'll probably be better than other TV shows.
That's true.
Because if the story sucked, then no one would try to televise it. Do you know what I mean? And quite frankly, Netflix has been very disappointing lately.
Yeah, it has.
I'm like, girl, you are dropping the ball. What the fuck are you trying to... Another show about cake? Ugh. But I will watch it. So,
It's for someone, and that someone is me.
yeah, do you know what I mean? I get it. Is it cake? Cut it open. I want to know. 8 episodes, I want to know. But yeah, so the Sandman is actually quite nice. Or maybe I was high and tired. Anyway, but what are you horny for? Take your time.
Cheese strings. No, kidding. Do you know that app Too Good To Go?
No,
That sounds like... I don't know if you've heard about it. It sounds like I'm going to do an ad. I'm not. This is just... I really love this app. It's if you go on it, towards the end of every day, you can, get any food from, any restaurant, basically, for free. Or, really, for £1.29.
Any restaurant, but it's always upper crust.
It's always upper... I was getting to that. It's upper crust. I'm horny for upper crust. You know the, train station sandwich
So
shop?
wait, this is called...
Too Good To Go.
Too Good To
They
Go.
should sponsor this. If they have any integrity. It's
Because,
amazing.
Yeah, people are always throwing away food.
Yeah,
and
it
it's
stops
really
that.
fucked up.
They just put it on the app.
They put it on the
Oh
app,
my
and then you
God.
pay £1, and you pick it up, and you can have 4 baguettes.
But they also do fruits and
Hypothetically.
vegetables.
They do
whatever you
food, they do
want.
vegetables, they do groceries. They also do Italian meals and whatever.
And baguette.
But I'm just really into a train station baguette. I don't like food that's been made with any love. I don't want to shag my baguette. I just want it. I want it to sustenance. Yeah, that's where I'm at. What?
It's just calories in a roll, and you're like, it doesn't care. I don't care if anyone happy made this.
No,
if they care.
No, I
when
do
they
care.
made
I just
this.
don't want them to be happy. I don't want them to be feeling any joy while they're making it. Just,
Very on topic.
it's too much, isn't it? It's too much. You can tell. You know when it's like when you're in school and you're eating a sandwich and you have someone next to you eating a sandwich from home and you think, disgusting. disgusting.
Yeah, fuck you. Yeah, fuck you and your whoever caretaker made that for you.
Yeah, it's always cling film as well.
Bad film. Bad.
Repugnant.
Are you guys horny for anything at the moment? It's okay to not be horny for anything.
I think I'm actually horny for Crocs. Because I got my first pair.
Ooh.
I almost wore it today.
Out. Did you?
Yeah, but I didn't.
Honestly, please.
But I almost did.
This resurgence of Crocs.
Yeah, they look great.
they're
Look
cool
at that. There's a
now.
bit of platform. There's holes when it's hot.
Yeah, I
You've
just
also
noticed
got the
platform.
charms. Have you not got them on?
I took them off because you shamed me for how proud I was of being Welsh.
Yeah.
I had
She had
like
Welsh flag
I had
charms,
Welsh-
which I think is too much.
Yeah. And the thing is, the Welsh flag's not like the English flag. It's not like EDL. It's just like quite cute.
Yeah, because it has a little dragon on it.
There's a dragon on it.
Who doesn't love a little dragon?
Well, Priya. She was like, I think you used too much. So I ripped them off. Now they're on the
As we
I
were
would have
crossing the
loved
bridge.
them.
You would have loved
Yeah.
them. See, well, you're horny for my Crocs and my dragon, so...
Wow, I think the platform really does take the Croc to another level.
Why are you all outing me for how short I am?
This is very serious right now. I feel
Yeah.
like I'm seeing Crocs in a whole new light.
Yeah.
They're beautiful. There's
Thank
something
you.
about, also because clogs are coming back.
Yeah.
This is now a fashion podcast.
It might be now. If you're listening, Mr. Croc.
Can we get some free ones?
Excuse me, Mixed Croc.
Mixed
if you're
Croc,
at
yeah.
home.
A doctor. A doctor,
Dr. Croc.
maybe.
Excuse me, Sergeant Croc.
Reverend Croc.
Reverend Dr. Croc. Junior, if you're at
BBS.
home.
DJ.
We would love
PhD.
some free Crocs, please. Swell, are you horny for anything, Priya?
I'm horny for my robot Hoover.
Oh, do you have a robot, like a vacuum thing?
It goes and you
know
bought me
that-
a robot Hoover. I should clarify. I wouldn't buy one myself because it's too extravagant, but I've been wanting one for literally
long.
5 years, and it's amazing.
She broke up with her boyfriend, so a lesbian would buy her one.
Yeah.
He
Some
wouldn't
might
do
say a
it.
step too far. No.
He didn't know what he really wanted. Is it? It's not a Roomba one though, right?
Oh God, it's not a Roomba.
Because you
It's
see
not
that
made of money.
Jeff Bezos is apparently like trying to buy. Is it Jeff Bezos? Yeah. Do you know what the story is? Wait. Tell us.
He's buying a robot company to steal more data, essentially.
He's buying a robot company to steal data, and it's the robot vacuum one, right? Why do they want to know the layout of our homes?
Yeah, what data is it? Roombas don't have like cameras.
Yeah, what
or anything
data's on the
them.
floor that they're like,
I feel like it's weird though.
I sucked up some great
The
information
taste
on this
of my cat's
person.
cat litter. Like,
I
what's it
don't know.
after?
I wonder. Like, I feel like they might remember. I don't know. I don't know how they work. I'm not a robot vacuum. All I know is I just saw someone tweet that it's bad, and I believed it. I was like, thank you for telling me what to think about this. I will not think any further on it. Just watch out, because your vacuum's gonna ruin your life. Gang, I want to ask you. Kind of loaded question. Some would say, Kima, this is really invasive. But what do you like to do for fun? I feel like I went there, and I'll go again. I feel like our job. Sometimes people assume that a stand-up is inherently fun. At times, it's fucking not. But yeah, how do you bring yourself joy? How do you find room to play as full-grown people in 2022?
We went to the Miss Wales competition.
Don't
Wow.
tell this
What is
story.
that?
You have to now.
We follow local pageants.
That makes complete sense.
I highly recommend it. If you're a busy person, hop on the Instagram of a local pageant.
So we went to the Miss Wales competition.
We're back. We're back.
Went to the Miss Wales competition. This sounds unbelievable, but in Wales we're a bit famous. Because it's Wales, and the only other person we have is the Go Compare man. And so...
Only on Welsh language
Only
TV.
on Welsh language. But we were like, oh, if people know us. We went to the Miss... We'll send you a picture. We went to the Miss Wales competition in glasses.
Incognito!
Like you lot, yeah. Yeah, and we went and watched it, and genuinely... But I started off as a bit of a joke, a bit of a sardonic, like, oh, we're going to Miss Wales, we're going to get drunk. Then we started to get so into it, I was like, no! Like, if someone I went... And they don't talk. They
don't let them talk.
It's so fascinating.
What? So you just, like, do they ask them at least, like, do they want world peace?
No, they all come out at the
All
start.
they're allowed to say is their name and where they're from.
To the tune of Shirley Bassey's I'm Coming Out, which felt really odd.
No.
Yeah, it was.
It's a cover of Pink's Get This Party Started by Shirley Bassey.
Wow.
I love Wales.
I'm coming out, so you better get this party started.
That's
Is
not
that not
Shirley
called
Bassey's
I'm
song.
Coming
Yeah,
Out?
the party started on a Saturday
Shirley
night.
Bassey covered Pink.
Everybody.
Did Shirley Bassey cover Pink?
Shirley Bassey covered Pink.
That doesn't feel right.
Yeah,
Shirley Bassey covered Pink.
No.
It's amazing. I recommend. Should we go? Should we go on
We
a
should
trip?
go next year.
I would go.
So down.
It was amazing.
It's
it was
amazing.
the best show I've ever
oh,
seen.
the Instagram. Go on. If you want a laugh, go on the Miss Wales Instagram because they make them all walk. There's a man, like they were like, this is your introduction on how to be a strong woman, and there's a man that holds their hand as they walk across broken glass, and that's not a joke. It's amazing.
Cannot stress how much they're not allowed to talk.
Are they barefoot on broken
Barefoot.
Yeah.
glass?
Sounds like performance art to me.
Yeah.
They're women.
Yeah.
Moved by
You should give it a go. You should be the person. You should. Oh,
Miss Welsh, what's it called? Miss Wales?
Miss
Yeah,
Wales.
I would win.
Yeah.
No,
You should be the person that holds their hand and guides them across the
they walk
broken
across the glass. So, okay, just to make sure everyone understands Miss Wales, what I'm gathering is you wear a dress, you don't speak, you cut your feet, but you do get the party started.
You wear 3 dresses to get the party started.
You don't even get to explain which outfit represents?
No.
What it means to you?
All you're allowed to do is walk in a circle.
Right.
It's the best thing I've ever seen before in my life.
It's giving me Handmaid's Tale, and I'm here for it.
I need you to know that I mean this so sincerely. It was the best night of my life.
She's not joking.
I'm not joking. Afterwards we had Taco Bell and I had to calm down. It was like...
I feel like if this goes out, we'll never be allowed to host Miss Wales.
Which is the ultimate dream.
What are you guys trying to be the Ant and Dec of Wales?
Yes.
Your goals?
Dream.
Yeah.
Krishna, have you done it? It doesn't have to be as fun as going to the Miss Wales pageant. Apparently, nothing is. but what do you do for joy? Wow.
Nothing. No, I don't know. I paint. It's really not as fun as that, is it?
You paint?
Yeah, I paint. That's fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Lovely.
Yeah.
What do you be painting?
It's just like flowers and stuff.
On what?
On like things.
On like random shit.
No, like on canvas. Or,
Are
like
you a
paper.
vandal?
Yeah, I'm just being.
Are you Banksy?
Could be.
Oh my god, you've heard it here first. We've unmasked Banksy. But wait, so do you enjoy like painting like florals?
Yeah.
I love that for you.
Yeah, thank you. It's really not as fun as it
What's
is.
your
It's
favourite?
really quick.
wholesome.
No, it
Yeah,
is.
it
What's your favourite flower?
Yeah, that's the thing. So I've got lots. I love flowers. I've got tats of them everywhere, and I love flowers. I
What
paint
flower
them.
is that one?
I don't know the names of any of these flowers.
Do you know what?
I know a picture. I've seen
Yeah.
it. I like it. That's all I know.
Also, what's weird about flowers, I think, when you get into like painting and drawing them, you just could just make some shit up and it might be real, might not.
Yeah, exactly. It's great.
Yeah, it's
It's
kind of
great.
like these petals and some of them twist. And maybe that
There probably is
exists
a
in
flower
nature.
like that. Yeah.
I think naming things sometimes can like hold us back as a society.
Yeah, I don't like naming anything really.
People are always talking about a Bichon Frise. I don't know what these fucking dogs are. Just saying, sometimes stuff is just beautiful. We don't have to call it shit.
I saw the look in your eye when you said Bichon Frise as you completely lost confidence and you were like, oh no. The wheels have come off.
What I really love the most is that you started the thing by being like, some people say white privilege doesn't exist, and you just went, Bichon Frises don't exist.
Dogs are fucking dogs, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually couldn't agree more.
Gotta stop breeding them. Anyway, that's I invited all you guys here today to talk about dogs just need to fuck freely. That's what I believe.
Oh, you don't think they should be like, they shouldn't cease to exist, they should just be allowed to fuck whatever
No,
dogs they want.
dogs are cool, but I think people are always trying to... People are always trying to be like, oh, this kind of dog is better than this kind of dog. And that's fucked up. Like, why do we have to bring the way that we try to fucking categorize society into dog world?
So clap that. That was not...
Are dogs prejudiced against each other? I need to know that.
You see what I'm saying? I don't think
They're
so.
like, oh, that German Shepherd over there.
Yeah, look at the German Shepherd. I think...
Taking our jobs.
I wanted to be a cop dog.
The Bichon Frise is like, I wanted that.
Yeah.
I fucking took it.
Yeah, that's
Now they're saying I don't
It
exist.
should be mine. That's my impression of a British. Yeah, but enough about dogs fucking.
For now.
I don't want you guys to feel any pressure to answer in a certain way, especially two of you. But who is someone that you like always have a good time with?
There's a Welsh comedian who's fantastic called Larry Morgan.
I was going to say
who is an
that too.
I love her. She's a mess.
She keeps having to run away from gigs because she won't read what the gig is, and then she arrives and it's a Jim Davidson gig, and she's like, I need to leave.
She's like, oh, I'm
It keeps
actually...
happening.
Wait. Who's?
Jim Davidson,
Yes.
yeah. He's like trash, like just...
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not. Larry Morgan, because
think-
she got
do you think-
pregnant even though she has the coil in, and right now she has a baby in her body and also a coil, and that
I'm
is
going
so
to say
funny.
Larry Morgan's baby.
Okay.
Is someone that you always have a great time with?
No, answer it actually.
Well, I was going to say Larry as well, but I have got a cousin who takes ketamine for period pains, so her otherwise.
Love that.
Yeah.
Based off of whose advice?
Her own.
Love it.
Her own.
That
I won't name her.
You go.
But yeah.
Go. I hope you do have more than one her cousin.
I've got so many I'm
Okay, good.
half Indian and half Catholic. There's literally hundreds of us.
Good. She's safe.
I'm not one of them, just to be abundantly clear.
Have you checked?
I don't think I need to.
Okay. If you feel confident... It's not up to me. Hey, I want dogs to fuck however they want. I want that for people too. So you keep fucking your cousin.
I can't believe this is the podcast where someone's called us cousins.
Yeah. You're both brown, you're both cousins.
It's always...
You're taking our jobs. You're taking our cousins.
It's the people you never expect. It be your own... Look, let this be a reminder. Not all skin folk are kinfolk. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Krishna, who's someone you always have fun
Yeah,
with?
I've got an answer. My niece and nephew. It's quick and easy.
That's safe as well. Your friends can't get mad, but it's family.
Exactly, yeah.
It's family.
Yeah.
What's so fun about being with them?
They're cute.
How old are they?
10 and 4.
I love that.
Yeah, before they get annoying.
Yeah. And before they realize how fucked up life is.
Yeah, it's great. The optimism, amazing.
Yeah, you can look at the light in their eyes.
Yeah.
I feel like 4-year-olds know, they just forget it by 5.
You have to keep showing them again. That's the thing when you have a little kid sometimes. Some stuff you retain, and I think some stuff just like falls through. But by the time you're in your mid-teens, you know, this is fucked up.
I think my nephew's getting to that age. You know, though. You know. It's true. I remember knowing.
Are you taken aback by the unhinged nature? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, you're welcome. And you wish that I would smile or something to relieve you. Like, is she okay? And
I don't think you understand how fucked up I already am, that this does not faze me. I'm just confused.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the Fuck It Up Comedy Club podcast.
Woo!
Yeah, how did you guys end up doing comedy? How did this happen to you?
I was obsessed with comedy since I was like a little kid. My mum let me watch Eddie Murphy's Raw and Delirious when I was like 10.
Great choice, Mum.
Yep. Bad parenting, but makes for a...
Yeah.
I could only do comedy
Yeah.
as a living. So I was obsessed with it, and I started doing it at open mics in Wales. Now I'm
love
here.
that. I'm so glad that you did.
Thank you.
And shout out to your mum. And yeah, I can't wait to listen to your podcast. Eddie Murphy saved my life.
Yeah.
What about you, Leila?
It's a sad story. Do you want to take the tone down?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Well, okay. So
I'm reckless with the tone.
I am gay and brown, and my family are religious. So I had to leave my home when I was a teenager. And so I had nobody, and I had to make friends somehow. So I started going to the comedy club because it was free to see open micers, and I used to just sit all night and watch open mic comedians, which was a learning experience. And then I became a producer, and then I realised it was much more fun and it would make me much more rich to be a comedian, so I just decided to do that instead.
Facts. Do you still do production and stuff?
No.
So, Leila, bomb-ass producer. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
It's a shame I don't do it no more.
Well,
I bet maybe one day. Look, yeah, maybe one day. I liked it. It was fun. We worked together when I was producing, but it's a really tricky thing to do. And some industries are, it's easier to be like your own guy, wandering around, like.
Oh yeah.
Just doing your own stuff.
Love being my own guy. Yeah, cool. Krishna, what about you? How'd you end up doing stand-up?
It was sort of random. I didn't really know stand-up existed. Well, I knew it existed, but I don't really see people I don't think to this day I really see people like me doing it. So I've never actually, until like a couple of years ago, actually gone to a comedy night.
Mm-hmm.
But I was doing a sort of performance art sort of theatre show. And we went up to Soho. It was for Soho Theatre, and we went up for Edinburgh, and we were in a flat with Hannah Gadsby because we were all sharing accommodation, as you do. And one of the other people in the show is this amazing Australian comic called Zoe Koomsma. And they were both sort of just like, you should do it. And it's I feel like it's nice. I never get to say thank you to them. Thanks, Zoe and Hannah. They were sort of like, there's no people like you, but you can do it, and we do it, and we're queer. So it was quite a sweet entry. I had parents
beautiful.
sort of,
That's so lovely.
Yeah.
And what empowering people to hear that from as well.
Yeah, because I don't think I'd ever watched a comedy show before I watched both their shows that year.
I'm so jealous.
Oh my God.
Sat at the open mics like, maybe I'm a terrible person.
And Hannah Gadsby's show famously did not go down well.
Yeah.
Just kidding. One
But it did another start, I don't think. Depends on the audience, doesn't it?
Then won the award, went on to be on Netflix and really change a lot of people's perspectives on what comedy could be. So that's really epic. I'm so glad that you had that experience. Thank you so much for a wonderful show. Give it up for all the comedians you've seen. Yes, Priya Hall, Leila Navabi, and Krishna Istha. Thank you so much. Oh, what a good time. Thank you so much for joining us. It's I don't know, whenever you make a thing, you're like, oh, I want to make this thing. I want to make it good. And I want to make this thing. And I want to make it good. And we've made it 11 times. And that's just really cool. So I appreciate you listening. The incredible comics that you've heard have projects that you can enjoy and support. So follow them online. And if you've been listening to this and you've enjoyed it, thanks. Thanks for letting us know. Thanks for letting people know. It's so awesome. The Fuck It Up podcast recordings in London. We'll be having one on October 4th and October 20th or 20th October if you speak UK. And Fuck It Up in New York will be having putting on a show on September 29th. So check that out if you're stateside, New York side. I've been Kima Bob. You've been great. And as always, the Fuck It Up podcast is brought to you by the Femmes of Color Comedy Club, the House of the Guilty Feminist, and is a part of the ACAST Creator Network. Yeah, and it might be kind of early to say it, but like,